everybody, welcome back to another episode of Check This Out. On this episode we're going to be taking a look at egg gadgets. And hold it, before you turn off the video, I know what you're saying. Egg gadgets have been done and done and done and overdone. But I'd like to go back to some more vintage type of egg gadgets. Ones that had a certain elegance to them, not stupid looking plastic chickens that go in the microwave. Let's face it, most microwave eggs suck. They're either rubbery or they explode. I don't know what the problem is with just taking an egg and cooking it. What takes so long that it has to be done in a few seconds instead of a couple minutes? There's some items here that are going to go back to the simple elegance of the way that eggs were served. We have some beautiful egg coddlers. Egg coddling is not done as much in the United States as it is in Britain. I remember my grandmother used to do them, but now it's just mostly microwave chicken or egg looking things. These have a certain elegance to them. And if I'm going to fill up my kitchen with something, instead of a bunch of cheap plastic crap, I would rather have something beautiful like this porcelain here. This porcelain company does the porcelain for the royal family, and the artwork on it is absolutely beautiful. We'll take a look at that. This is a modern gadget, but it's been around in some form or another like this for years. This is an egg topper. This will take the top off, and then you can take your toast points and dip them into the egg. And also I want to look at one more item. This one here is one that pokes a hole in an egg. It's supposed to make the eggs peel easier. Well, we're going to find that out. These things aren't that expensive, around $7-8, but do you really need it if an egg peels just as easy? I found that most eggs, the older they get, the easier they peel. We're going to do one with a hole in it and do one just regular. Try peeling them side by side and see if one's any easier than the other. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start with the egg coddler, I believe, and we're going to cook up some in that and take a look at exactly what it does and how it works. We're going to get started with the egg coddlers here. These ones are made by the Royal Worcester Company in the UK. They come very nicely boxed, and these are absolutely beautiful. They come in all kinds of styles. Some of them can be rather expensive, but I've seen sets of 4 go for as little as $29 on eBay. I'll put a link to that in the description down below. But just take a look at the artwork on this. Absolutely beautiful. I would much rather have something like this displayed in my kitchen than a plastic chicken. As I said, these come in 2 sizes. This one is the single, and this one will do 2 eggs. Alright, let's go ahead and make one up and get started on that. Alright, the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to take some butter. You could use cooking spray if you want to, but I think butter brings a little bit of flavor to the party. Just going to take that and lube the inside of it. And like I said, this one is a single egg coddler, so we're going to put our egg in. And you can add anything to this that you want. If you have some leftover ham, some leftover bacon, a little bit of cheese, even maybe a tiny bit of shredded rotisserie chicken, some sauteed mushrooms and onions. Whatever you have left over, you can pretty much put it in here. I just happen to have some red and green peppers, and then I'm going to take a little bit of grated Parmesan Reggiano, clean off the rim. We'll put the lid back on, and let's take it over to the stove. After you bring your water to a boil, you want to reduce it to a simmer. And these are not airtight, so when you put them in, you want to measure out your water ahead of time. and make sure it just comes below the rim of the lid on this. Now we're going to set our timer for 6.5 to 7 minutes. For a 2-egg one, it would probably be 8.5, 9 minutes. So let's set it and come back in 6.5 minutes and check and see what they look like. Okay, I decided to go about 7 minutes on this one. Let's take it out and see what it looks like. Okay, we'll take off the lid here. Careful, the porcelain is hot. It really holds the heat. I think that's just about right. Could have maybe gone another 30 seconds. Then you can take your toast points and give it a taste. For me, the flavor is much, much better than anything you're going to get out of a microwave. So let's take a look and see where we can get these at and how much they cost. Well, in case you're interested in some of these, let's take a look at a few prices. I brought these up on eBay here, and I think the best deal that I found is this one here. We have 4 of them for $29.99. It looks like the rose pattern. These are the small though. These are the single egg ones. And there's $7.96 shipping. Now we have some pair for $20, $17.99, $21. This is a double egg one. And this is a double egg too with the flower pattern on it. $20, $9.99 with one of the roses on it. Here's another one for $19.95. I think that would be your best bet, is to get them on there, because I checked over here on Amazon too, and they do have some. This one here has a peach on it, I believe, or a plum, and it's $35 for a single. They have this one here with the berries on it. If we look at all the buying options, that one's like around $32, $33 with the shipping on that one. $34, 35 bucks on that one, but it has free shipping. Some of these are more desirable than others. Here's another single. And that one is $90 for a single. I didn't pay anywhere near that. Now here's the king size one, like with the rose pattern. This is the exact same one here. And let's see how much it is. One left and 75 bucks. So I think your best bet is over on eBay. $60 for I believe that's a single also. So yeah, I would definitely check out eBay on that. Next thing we're going to move to is the egg topper for soft boiled eggs. Those will go in the egg cups. That one or the big one that I use for the coddled eggs. So let's go ahead and get the eggs in and get them started. Come back and see how this egg topper works. For the soft boiled eggs, I'm going to use sous vide machine. A sous vide machine definitely takes a lot longer than a microwave. But there's one nice thing about it. Well, there's many nice things about it, but one of them with eggs is, yes, they take about an hour to cook, but if you put them on first thing in the morning while you're preparing the rest of your breakfast, and you get distracted a little bit and have to leave them in there, you never really have to worry about them overcooking. So if you go an hour, hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half, maybe even probably up to 2 hours. I don't know if I've stretched it that long. You can leave them in there, And since we have this set at 146 degrees, which is where I like my soft-boiled eggs at. They say the perfect temperature for eggs Benedict is 144. For me, the white is just a little bit more runny than what I want. 146 is the perfect one for me. But what's nice with sous vide is, as you experiment with it, you can find the exact temperature that you want, and they will come out that way exactly every time. It doesn't matter what you do or how long you leave it in there. If you set 144, and that's how you like them, it's going to be 144 when it comes out. So I'm going to go ahead and stick it in there. Let that get started. Now, if you want to, you can also just use the regular method in a pan. I like to do my hard-boiled eggs, soft-boiled eggs, and everything from cold water. Almost every recipe you see out there calls for putting them into boiling water. But if you start with a cold pan, put enough water in to go about an inch over the top of the eggs, put it on a medium-high heat, then bring it up to a boil, turn off the heat, cover it. When you put the lid on, if you leave it for about 1.5 to 2 minutes, it had all that cooking time while it was coming up to a boil too. So 1.5 to 2 minutes for soft boiled, and leave it for 10 minutes for hard boiled. And they seem to come out perfect every single time. You know, I suggest you give that a try sometime. I could do that with a soft boiled right now, but for absolute perfection every time, I'm going to go with the sous vide. So in about an hour, we'll come back and put it in the egg cup, crack it open with the egg topper, stick our toast point in there, and see what it's like. The egg just came out of the sous vide machine. We've had it in there for an hour at 146 degrees. And let's give the egg topper a try. I don't always get this right, but I found the secret is to kind of hold it down on there and let it go. And there you can see there's a nice crack all the way around it. Then I just usually take and lift it off. Now you can just dip your toast points into it if you want to. And give it a little taste. Not bad. That's the way I like a yolk in a soft-boiled egg. I really don't like to go any lighter than that. It's still creamy, but the white's not too slimy. I really like this gadget here. It seems to be one of the best. I've tried several different devices, but as you can see here, it absolutely removed that top perfectly. I've had some that's actually broken the eggs, smashed them, but this one here is simple, easy. It doesn't take up much room in the drawer. And as we can see right now on Amazon, it's selling for $16.55. There's a little bit of demonstration how it works. Put it on the egg, lift it up, drop it, and that's about it. And there you go. Pulls off the top, nice and easy. Nothing to it. We got one last gadget to take a look at. And this one here puts a hole in the bottom of your egg. That's about it. You press it down on there, puts a hole in, and this is supposed to make them hard-boiled eggs easier to peel. But does it really? So let's boil up a hard-boiled egg, one with no hole in it, one with a hole in it, and see if one's easier to peel than the other. Okay, let's get started with our test here. We got 2 eggs. I usually pierce the big end, not the pointy end. It seems to work better. Make sure that the lock is off, and it's not. There we go. Now, push down, and there you can see one tiny little hole in the bottom. That's supposed to make all the difference. It lets the air, the gases out of the inside. and supposedly make it easier to peel. So let's get it into the water and see how it does. I always like to start with cold water, let it get to a boil, put a cover on it, let it set for 10 minutes, cool them off, and I never get that green-gray ring around the outside. They always seem to be perfectly cooked every single time doing it that way. Take it all the way to the full rolling boil, put your lid on. Now we're going to set the timer for 10 minutes, come back, put them in a water bath, cool them off, and try peeling them and see if there's any difference. This gadget currently on Amazon is selling for $7.99, $8. There's really not a whole lot to it. Turn it one way, it'll punch the egg. The other way, it locks it so you don't poke your fingers. But there's not a lot going on with it. It's a pretty simple device. But the real thing is, even though it's not that expensive, do we even need it? Well, we're going to find out in a few minutes. Now that the eggs have been cooked and chilled, let's see how they peel. The one on the left here, you may be able to see it. That's the one with the hole, and this is the one without. All right. Start with the one without. And it's peeling pretty well. These eggs are fairly fresh, so they're always a little bit harder to peel, but it seems like once you get a little bit of it started, you can run your thumb right under it, and it comes off pretty darn easy at that point. Looks pretty good, not too bad. Now let's see if this one is worth $8 more than the other egg. I think I'm noticing a little bit of difference. It seems a slight bit easier, but not a whole lot. All right, that one came out pretty well too. Is it worth $8? Hey, you decide. It's up to you. All right, this will be the last of the gadgets. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you will consider, I don't know, maybe showing the kids, the family a little bit how eggs were made old school with the egg coddlers. And some of the really nice looking egg cups. I didn't really look up anything on the internet for egg cups because there's so many hundreds of them out there. These ones here are vintage. This is a vintage one too. I found them pretty cheap on eBay. But you can get plastic, porcelain, playful ones that look like chicken's feet. If you need a plastic chicken in your life, they do have egg cups with chicken feet on the bottom. So pretty much anything you want there. All right, that'll be the end of it. Thank you very much once again for watching. Be safe, be healthy, be prosperous, and I'll see you next time on Check This Out.